And a Senate hearing isn't necessarily the best place to be debating something as complicated as to whether certain vaccines work or not. As your guest, Dr. Jernigan, said, that has to be based on evidence. It has to be based on studies and data, and it should be reviewed by experts. And one of the questions that the senators were raising with the secretary is, why did he fire the head of the CDC, who is an expert, who just a few months ago he said was unassailable in her credentials? And why did they fire the advisors on vaccine and put in almost all people who are anti-vax? That isn't what the American public believes. If you look at polling, most Americans believe in vaccines. There could be some debate here over which vaccines work and when they should be administered, but to make it political is a big mistake. The other thing that Dr. Jernigan, your guest, mentioned has nothing to do with policy. It's that he said that they're lowering the funding and decreasing the funding for CDC, which seems amazing to me. The CDC could go one way or the other on vaccines, but to decrease support for the CDC, especially when we just had a pandemic that started during the first Trump administration, so President Trump and the other Trump administration officials understand the impact of a pandemic. The CDC is there to help avoid the next pandemic. And I think that's what the senators were raising as well. And I also just want to mention, it wasn't all Democratic senators that were criticizing the secretary. Senator Cassidy, who's a Republican, was criticizing the secretary because he said his constituents in his state cannot get access to the coronavirus, including constituents that have pre-existing illnesses, that have cancer. And so he was also very critical.